I would like to warmly welcome you all to this meditation center. So first, I would like to give a little briefing about Buddhism, what Buddhism is, and what Buddhism talks about. So then it will be brief, very brief. Then you can ask questions if you have any about the culture, about the philosophy. Human being, as we live, every one of us, every humans in life, what they all seek for in life is happiness, right? What we all seek for in life, why we do all what we do, everything that we do in life, we do it to become happy in life. So as a kid, for me as well, all the things that I did in my life is also to become happy. Why? The reason that we get education is to get knowledgeable. So why do we want knowledge? Is to get success in life, right? We want to become successful in life. So that is why we get educated. So from success as well, what we wanted in life is to become happy, right? So what is success? Is happiness in life. So from the beginning of time, what we did, everything that we did to become happy in life. From the childhood, as I said, when we get educated, the ultimate goal is to become happy. Then we go on in life. We go on to have degrees. We go on to have higher education. That is also to get successful and ultimately become happy in life. Then we go on to have relationships in life. We create relationships with people. That is also to become happy. Then we go on to have jobs. We find a career path. The reason why we do that is also to become happy. Then we get married in life to become happy. Then to have kids, then to go on trips. We do so many different things. There are so many different things in the world that we can do in order to become happy. That most of the people are doing so many things, different varieties of things. The ultimate goal is to become happiness, is to achieve happiness in life. So what normally happens is when we go on search of this happiness from the world to ourselves, what people usually come across is suffering and sadness. Most of us, we come across sadness. We come across moments, situations that we are upset, which we become suffer in life. So Buddhism, what Buddhism approaches is to live a happy life without suffering. How to live a life that is filled with happiness? How to live a life happily without suffering? So that is the approach that Buddhism speaks about. So from the incident that I explained, you can all understand that we as humans, we seek for happiness and we come across sadness. So the question that you should ask is, what is suffering? Why do we suffer in life? What is the reason that people get depressed? What is the reason why I get angry? What is the reason? What is the cause of stress and anxiety of some person? So that is the question that we should ask, right? In order to become happy, what is the barricade that we face is sadness and suffering. So what is suffering? And how do we get suffering in life? And how to get rid of the suffering that we all come across in life? So firstly, if I take an example from myself, I remember before I became a monk, when I was back home, there were certain instances where I got really angry with my parents. But when I do something, they're always asking questions. Okay, why do you do that? Why do you do this? So from my side, in that moment, my cause of my anger was what my parents are saying to me. So likewise, in most of the instances that we come across anger, when we come across stress and anxiety in life, the cause of that stress, the cause of that anger, the cause of that upsetness is always an entity which exists outside of ourselves. The reason, the cause of our suffering is always some person who is outside from you. We always tend to point our finger. Okay, you are the reason why I am suffering. My parents are the reason why I am angry. My wife, my husband, my partner, the government, the environment, my neighbors, some other conflict in money. We always try to point our finger towards someone and say, okay, what you are doing, the way you are doing it is what makes me angry. Stop doing that. We'll ask them. Sometimes we'll go fight them. Sometimes we shout at them. Sometimes we feel the rage within ourselves for someone else because we are always pointing our finger to some other person who's living outside. Some people go on to have war. Some people, there are wars in this world right now because of the things that they wanted which did not come true. They want something to happen. They always point their finger, okay, the fault of this is your doing. So they create this burning sensation within themselves. They burn from within. They always think, okay, you are the reason, you are the reason. This should not have happened this way. That should not have happened this way. So, but in reality, the main cause of your suffering, your upsetness, the reason of your suffering, the cause of your suffering is not someone who is living outside. It is always the way you think. For every instance that which you have suffered, for every instance that when you were upset in life, the cause of that upsetness, the cause of that suffering that which you endured is because that you did not understand your mind. What is there to understand in mind? The next question, right? So you said, if you understand your mind, there will be no suffering, right? So what is there to understand in this mind? The thing that you need to understand in your mind is the desires that you have created. The desire that which you yourself has created. The desire, if I use another word to desire, is the expectations that you have, the deeply attached expectations that you have towards the world that you live, towards the people that you come across with. You have attached expectations towards them. So when you attach yourself to an expectation, to a person, to a thing, anything, you are bound to suffer from it. So in the core teachings of Buddhism, we talk about a concept called impermanence. This world that we live in is impermanent. The materialistic things are impermanent. You can say that for sure. There's a birth of the universe and there will be ultimately an end of the universe. The moons, the suns, the planets, all that we know, they are all in this nature which is called impermanent. Those things are not permanent. If the earth that we live in is not permanent, all the materialistic things that there are, all that there is actually impermanent, right? The buildings, the great buildings that we created, everything are impermanent. The dinosaurs that which existed have gone extinct now. So that is because this world that we live is impermanent. But that reality we all know. We all live, we all die. So that is something that we all understand, right? That the world that we live, the materialistic world, the outside is always impermanent. But in reality, your own thoughts that which you have created inside your mind, that is also impermanent. If you say you love someone today, one situation, one incident is enough for you to hate the same person that you loved. So that is also impermanent. You think when you saw someone and you come into judgments, okay, this person is a cunning person. This person is a good person. This person is a helping person. This is a loving person. All of those thoughts that which is in your mind are also impermanent. Because if you judge someone, if you come into the conclusion, okay, this is an honest person and this person will not do cunning things in the future, If an instance, if that happens, the thing that you did not expect to happen, so that is also impermanence. So the problem is, when you're living in your life, even though this world is impermanent, you are expecting certain things to be permanent. Then you're saying, okay, I did not thought that you would do such a thing. I did not thought you would do something like this. Why did you do it? You ask questions. You are angry because you're thinking, okay, the world that we live in itself is impermanent. You are expecting things to be permanent in this impermanent world. Because of the ignorance of these people, because of ignorance of all the human beings, they are suffering from life. So, how to get rid of this suffering is to understand these concepts about your mind. When you have understood the concepts, when you have understood that your suffering is, the cause of your suffering is the own way you think, that is when you get rid of this suffering.
You also have illness, which can cause suffering, if you don't blame that on anyone, but
Yes,
still there.
that's a good question. So the pain that you get, it comes in two different ways, two major ways. So the pain and suffering that you get will come in your physical form. When you have an illness, when you are diagnosed with an illness, your body will feel pain. So to cure that bodily pain, you can go to a doctor and ask them for medicine to cure this body of yours. So when a bodily pain comes, that also comes with the mental suffering of a person. Let's say someone is diagnosed with a disease like cancer. When you're diagnosed with cancer, you will get a bodily pain. You will have a great body pain. But it comes with a mental suffocation as well. I have to leave this world. Your appearance will change. You cannot face some person, some people, because your appearance has changed. You cannot lift your hand. You cannot. When your body gets weakened, you will also suffer from the mind. So Buddhism approaches that suffering in your mental suffering. If you have really understood that this mind component through and through, you will not suffer mentally, even in your dead bed. Your bodily pain will be there. If I fall down from here, I will feel pain in my body, right? That is there. But your mental suffering, your mental upsetness, your mental stress, all of that will go away. The first guru in Buddhism, we call him Gautama Buddha. So Siddhartha. So he also had body pain. He was an enlightened person, like the script says. So he also had bodily pain. When he died, he felt pain. But what he did not feel is the mental suffering of a person.
According to Buddhism, is life precious or we live in this physical plane just to prepare ourselves for nirvana?
Is life precious?
Our physical existence isn't precious or
Precious?
precious,
Okay.
or just prepare ourselves by doing good deeds. We're just preparing ourselves for something like nirvana in the next phase of our soul journey.
The life that you live, the concept that I took is impermanence, right? So we learn impermanence not to suffer in life. Even though we know that everything that there is impermanent, that teaching is there not to suffer in life. So yes, the life that we live is precious. And the next thing is, your next question, do we prepare ourselves for nirvana in some other time? No. The nirvana that Buddhism speaks about, the nirvana that you will achieve in Buddhism is not something that you will achieve in the future. The nirvana you will achieve is in this present moment. There's no nirvana for you to achieve in 1,000 years. There's no nirvana that you have to achieve in your next life. Buddhism always talks about this moment that we are living in. So you don't have to prepare yourself. What you have to do is to understand the concepts of your mind. When you have understand the concepts of your mind, then you will attain nirvana, which is in yourself. You cannot find nirvana in some other place. Searching for nirvana is something like this. There are fish in the sea who's looking for water. They are going around doing so many good deeds and stuff, and they're asking, where's water? But someday they will realize that he was surrounded with water. At that day, he knows that he was living in water. As in, that day he will realize that he has attained nirvana. So you don't have to do good deeds and imagine yourself getting nirvana in somewhere far future, some far future. You just have to understand these concepts. When you have understood these concepts, you will automatically come into this present moment. You will live the moment. That is it. There's no past, there's no future. You will be here. That is nirvana. There's no getting prepared to attain nirvana. You just understand certain concepts. That's it. After that, you live your own life. The difference would be you are a person who has understood this mind. That is enlightenment. That is nirvana. Nirvana is not something magical. The only magic in nirvana is that you have understood your own mind.
And what is the purpose of human life?
There's no purpose in human life. You can go and search for purposes. You can go and search, okay, I will do this, do that. Those are all distractions along your path. When there's a purpose in your life, there's something for you to do in life. When there's something for you to do in life, what you will get is tiredness. When you have a purpose, you have a goal. When you have a goal, you have a path. When you have a path, you have to travel that path. So when you travel that path, you will get tired. When you have understood there's no purpose, then you will understand that there is no goal. When you have understood that there is no goal, then there is no path. When you have lost the path, you have lost the tiredness, you will be at the starting point. Now, let's say this is the starting point and this is the ending point. You are a person who is here and your target is going here. That is the purpose, right? Your purpose is to do something in life. So when you have a destination in life, when you have a purpose to achieve, when you have something to achieve in your life, you have a destination. Like I said, if there's a destination, you have a path to travel. You have to go somewhere. When you have to go somewhere, you have a path and you have to travel. What you'll be left with in your travel is the tiredness of the travel. When there is no purpose, when you have understood that there is actually nothing to do in life, you have lost the destination. When you have lost that destination, your path will be lost. And you will be at the very beginning. The things that you will do, you can do jobs, you can do so many things in life. So those are just to live an energetic life. You can do anything that you want after if you have understood that you are living in sea. If you are a fish who's searching for water in the sea, when you have understood that I am actually living in the sea surrounded with water, then there is no place for you to go.
What's wrong with tiredness? I mean, if we don't experience tiredness, we will not appreciate.
Yes. It's like this. Now, what is wrong with tiredness is when you are tired in life. So, like you said, you have a purpose in life, right? Even though I said there is no purpose, every one of us, as to our own perspective, we have a purpose in life. We have to go somewhere. We have a destination. So when you're traveling to this destination, you will feel tired. When you feel tiredness on your search for any given goals in your life, any given purpose in your life, when you're tired, that is when you will search for a way, okay, is there a way to lose this tiredness? Isn't that so?
Yes, and that's when I will take rest and I will appreciate the rest only if I experience tiredness. So I'm talking about contrast in life that is important to experience in order to appreciate the opposite.
In order to appreciate the opposite? Opposite as in?
Rest. If I can rest my entire life, I would never appreciate that because that would be my norm. So I need to experience the opposite to appreciate that state of rest.
Okay, now you're saying if you're traveling abroad, you will get tired, right? Then you will take a rest and you take the trip again. Is that it? So what you're asking is what is wrong with that, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
always tiredness.
It's like this. Now, in Buddhism, you can do that. What is wrong with tiredness is you will get tired again, and then you will have to take rest again. When you have understood these concepts, you will never get tired again. You are talking about a goal that which you go from outside. I was talking about that there is no purpose in order to achieve this spirituality, this nirvana, because you asked about nirvana. So the path to attain a goal in your life, let's say that you want to become a doctor. From your child, you want to become a doctor. This is how you attain your goal. You have to start from here. There are tests to take, there are classes you have to attend, there are things that you have to sacrifice, you have to be really courageous in order to attain something in your play life. Let's say you want to become a doctor, there's a path that you have to travel, you will become tired. Then you will have to take a rest and go back doing the same thing. But if you want to attain nirvana, that does not happen like that. To attain something in the spiritual life, you have to do the exact opposite of it. That is why I said, because you asked about preparing for nirvana, that is why I gave you this answer. If you're talking about a purpose, like having a destination, okay, I have to travel the entire world before I die. So for you to do that, there is a path for you. If that is your purpose, then there is a path for you. But in reality, there is no purpose in life. Even though, let's say, the purpose of your life is to travel the world. You will travel the world. After that is over, then you will have another purpose in your life. A normal human being will never be satisfied with what they have. They will be, but in some moment, they will have another idea in their mind, okay, I have to do this. I have to do that. Even Elon Musk right now, he is the most richest person in the world. He has another purpose in life, to colonize Mars. Let's say in like 5 years he colonizes Mars, then he will have another purpose in life. So that is what is wrong with this tiredness. So if you are a person who's traveling a spiritual path in order to become enlightened, you have to do the exact opposite of what you did.
So how does that relate then to you teaching us now?
What relates?
Well, I mean, your purpose at the moment, I assume.
I have no purpose at the moment. No. I am just explaining myself. That's it. It doesn't matter whether you understand me or not. I'm just explaining if you ask a question of my question, if I know how to answer, I will answer. If I don't know, I will say I don't know. I have no expectation as such to teach the things that I know for you guys. I will teach, right? If you ask a question, that is why I said ask a question. I will answer to my best knowledge. So another thing I have to add to that. So living a life without purpose does not mean that you are a lazy person who's sleeping all the time. That is two different things. Living a life without purpose does not mean that you are doing nothing. So in here, these guys know that we have started a campus. Okay? We as people who are living without expectations, doing so much work. We are getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning, then there's a big routine that happens. We have to do this. There are lots of work that we are doing. But we have lost all purpose in life. We are living in the moment and doing what there is to do at the moment. That is it. We are so energetic just because we have lost all purpose. We are so energetic because we don't have attached expectation about our future. We just do things without any expectations about the end result. We have expectations about how to do some work, but we have lost the hard and fast attachment towards the target, to achieving the target. We'll put on the work, we'll do all this thing that there is to do. Most of the humans, when they want to do certain thing, they will think so much. They will plan. Planning is also good. I'm not saying it's bad. Planning is good. They will plan and plan. They will plan more and more rather than doing the work. When for some people, I don't know whether you guys have this. When they wake up in the morning, sometimes they think, oh, I have to do this, do that. I have to take my children. So many work to do. But instead of thinking about what you're going to do, if you will just wake up and just brush your teeth, then you have done one work. Some people, they just thinking so much, you're overthinking about things. I have to do that. The real reason why people become tired in their life is not because of the work that they're doing, because they're thinking of the work that they're doing. They're thinking of the work that they did, and they're thinking about the work that they have to do. When you have lost that, when you have lost this, I also get thoughts. I also get thoughts, okay, I have to do this, do that. I have so many thoughts in my mind. I have so many memories about my past. I have so many expectations about my future. But all those ideas, all those imaginations does not have any weight in my mind. They just comes in and then they just go out. I have no attachment towards those. They are just coming in and they're going out.
So if I follow and practice the Buddha, and I will 100% get rid of suffering and I will 100% of happy. And what I'm saying is that without hot, we couldn't know the feeling of warmth. Without light, we couldn't know what is dark. But if we really 100% happy, how can we know we are happy?
If you're 100% happy,
It's because we only know the opposite feelings of two different status, like the warm and cold, like happy and unhappy.
okay,
So if there is 100% happy, so if there's no unhappy, how can I know I'm happy?
it's like this. Like you said, the world that we live in a dualistic nature. There's cold, there's warmth. There's tall, there's short. There's everything that there is. I'm black, people are white. Even in the attachments that I have, it always comes with two sides. If I attach myself, okay, I'm attached to this phone. How can I say that I'm attached to this phone? If this phone breaks down, I'm feeling sad, right? So that is when I know I have attached to my phone. So your attachments and your rejections comes at the same object at the same time in two different ways. Make sense? So what I'm trying to explain is that every thought, everything that we know comes in dualistic nature, right? So being 100% happy at the same moment, you have the capacity to be 100% sad. The thing is this, you're always searching for your happiness with some object, some situation in your life. You will say, okay, if I made up with this situation, then I will be happy. Isn't it so? For you to become happy, okay, if I eat my favorite dish at night, then I'll be happy, right? Your happiness always comes with an incident, with a person, with some item, with some object in your life. But in spirituality, the only non-dualistic nature that there is in life, that there is in existence, is nirvana. It is enlightenment. So enlightenment that you will feel, if you ever get to experience that, the enlightenment that someone feels is not the happiness that you're talking about. Because your happiness, it is something that goes beyond the happiness that you are talking about now. There's no such thing as 100% happy. It is, the word is nirvana and enlightenment. So enlightenment is not 100% happy as you seek it. Because for you to become happy, there should be a situation where you have thought of. If let's say a simple example of a tea. I have a certain expectation, okay, tea should be in a certain way. Tea, as in the tree that we drink. So at this moment, for me to become 100% happy, a tea should be in a certain way. There should be a certain sugar level, there should be a certain tea level, the hotness should be in a certain way. So if I drink a tea like that, then I'll be happy, 100% happy, right? So the happiness that you're talking about always comes with a situation, with an object, with a person. That is the happiness that you're talking about. But attaining something in your spirituality is something that goes beyond this happiness and sadness that you're talking about. That something goes beyond this dualistic nature in life.
So the feeling of enlightenment or the state couldn't be described by a word?
No.
Okay.
Because all words comes in this dualistic nature. When I say love, there's hate. Everything comes in two. What I can do is I can give you hints, glimpse on your path. That is what I'm doing now. When that happens, it is an experience which cannot, so any experience cannot really be explained through words. Me sitting in a chair like this, if you have not sit here ever in your life, I can explain the feeling. I can say, okay, it is very comfortable. I am feeling like this. There are so many words that I can explain it, but you will never understand it, right? You can get an idea, okay, this might be something that he's trying to tell something. But when you get up here and sit in this chair, that is when you will have the experience what I'm talking. Until that, I can tell you, okay, sitting here, it's very comfortable. I feel like this. I feel like a king. I can say so many things. But the moment that you will have the same experience is when you come up here and sit here. It's an example.
So Buddhism teaches non-attachment as the way to happiness. Practical example, mother goes to the child is terminally sick. How would you advise this mother?
The child is?
The child is terminally sick.
Okay, sick.
Yeah. How would you advise this mother to practice non-attachment?
First, Buddhism teaches non-attachment, right? That's what you said, right? Okay, for a mother who loves her child, the child is permanently ill. First thing that you have to understand is that you really cannot attach yourself to a person who's in the outside world. What you get attached to is the image that you have of a certain person in your mind. You cannot really attach to your kid. You cannot really attach to your husbands or wives. What you get attached to is the image of that person which is in your mind. If you can really get attached to a person who's outside, you will never hate that same person. It is because you have created a frame in your mind. Okay, my child, his name is Sam. Example, okay? Sam, he's a boy, he has to be a certain way, okay, he's like this, he's like that. There's an image in your mind. That is the thing that you love. It is because of that. When that child is sick, that is when you feel sad, because you have attached yourself to your son not being sick, your own expectations. The imaginations that you have, which you created from yourself. The delusion that you're in, you have attached yourself to someone in this impermanent world. As a mother, what you can do is you can take counsel from a doctor and take necessary precautions, right? That is the only thing that you can give medicine, and you can look after the child. You can give everything that there is as like to make his life better. You can do all those things. But if you are attached to your child, if you're attached to your own child, your cause of your suffering is not the child, but the way you think, because of the attachments that you have. In this impermanent world, if you attach yourself thinking that these things should be permanent, that is the reason of your suffering.
In this case, love equals attachment.
Love equals attachment. There are different levels of love. In the basic level, love is lust with lots of attachments, lots of deeply attached expectations. That is when love comes at the very basic level. You have so many expectations toward your loved one. Okay, you have to dress a certain way, you have to work a certain way, you have to have certain things in order to get my love. So that is the most basic level of it. If you reach a little higher state of love, you can find something like love of a mother. Even though your son does some bad things according to society, even though your son does some things that you do not want them to do, you will love them in return. That's love. It is something that which goes beyond the basic level. So in Buddhism, what we talk as love is unattached love towards the entire universe. You're not attached to any. My love right now is for you all, you guys. It is without any frames. It is without any expectations. The same love will be given to the next person I meet. The same love will be given the next moment that which I go to someplace else, to the entire universe. It is without any attachments. It is without any frames in my mind. I am always in a state of full love in my mind. But what happens with a child? If you're upset, that is because you're thinking it is mine, and it comes, even though it's a bit higher state, it comes with certain frames. It is mine, and things like this should not happen to my child. That is the reason, if you are a parent with your kid in some illness like that, if you're suffering, the cause of your suffering is always about the attachments that you have. Attachments. It's like this. I'll give you an example. If I give you a piece of blank paper, and then I'm asking you to draw a demon in that paper.
Pardon me?
Sorry? A demon, a devil. The devil. Draw a devil, a demon. A piece of blank paper, I'll give you the pencils and stuff. You have to draw a devil, a demon. Then I'm going to give you some colors. Then you have to paint the devil. You will paint the devil. Then I'm going to take the same paper, the same piece of paper, and I will show it to you and say, okay, try looking at this paper. Be frightened looking at this paper. Can you do that? No, because you know you are the one who drew this demon. You know you are the one who painted this demon. You know how you drew it. You know all the things that you did to draw this painting. But the exact same things happen in your mind. Because of your ignorance, you cannot really understand that you are the one yourself who drew all these paintings. You from yourself. No one asked you to attach yourself to your kid. But from you yourself have created an image and get attached to that image in yourself. And then you're crying from that image. You're smiling with that image. You're happy with that image. At the same moment, you are unhappy with that image. Sometimes you take revenge on this image that you drew. Sometimes you fall in love to this very extent with your image that you have drew. But the real reality is that you are the one who drew it. So many imaginations, so many ideas in your mind, not only about a person you love, about every situation, everything that there is in life, about people, about how this should be, about how the situation should be handled. Everything that you come across in life, you have a certain frame within yourself. Okay, this should happen in a certain way. It is okay to have ideas like that. But the problem comes when you are attached to that expectation of yours. I also have expectations. I also have, okay, this should happen a certain way, that should happen a certain way. These people are not good people. I also have that frames. But I'm not too much attached to those expectations, to those frames, because if something happens the way that I did not expect them to happen, I know a truth in life, which is my own imaginations in my mind are not true. It is from my perspective that I gain some ideas about the world.
So I have a lot of attachments. I have attachments to my wife, children, grandchildren. I have attachment to people that I'm on tour with, the people I don't know, people who get caught in a tsunami and drown. I feel badly for it. It occurs to me that if I were a psychopath, I would not have these attachments. Somehow that doesn't seem to me to be the path to enlightenment.
Being a psychopath.
Being attached.
Being?
Non-attached.
Sorry?
The psychopath is not attached. Is he closer to enlightenment than I?
It's like this. We cannot say actually whether a psychopath has no attachments, right? But
What's your definition of it?
They don't have much consciousness.
they don't have much consciousness.
That's the problem.
Okay. So, okay, like an example. Let's say a psychopath is going around killing people. Okay. There is a psychopath, right?
Medically speaking, yeah.
Medically speaking. So if there's a person who's going around killing people, we cannot really say from his mind whether he has lost all expectations. If you are even a person who's lost expectations, if you're attached, that is why he's doing things, because he's not really conscious in his mind. That is why he's the most basic thing. For you to get enlightened in life, you should first think that you should have is awareness. Your awareness doesn't come about anything else. Your awareness is about your own mind. If you are a person, like you said, for the first part of your question, you said you are a person with attachment, right? You have attachment towards people in your life. So how do you know you are attached in, let's say you are attached to some person. The way that you know is when something happens, if you're sad about it, that is when you know, okay, I have attachment, right? Otherwise you don't know. Let's say I'm attached to this clock. If something happens to this clock, that is the only time that I know, okay, I have attached because I am feeling sad, I am feeling upset about certain thing, right? Makes sense? That is when you know, okay, I have attached. So in Buddhism, what we tell is, to overcome this attachment, you can't really say from today onward, I will have no attachments. You can't really do that, right? You can do, okay, I will go from tomorrow without any attachment towards anything in life. You can't really do that because your mind is in a habit to get attached to things. How to get rid of this habit is to be aware about your mind. When you are upset, when you are pressured, when you are suffering in your life, when you're suffering through your mind, you have to find the cause of your suffering. That is the only approach that it takes. You have to find the cause. What is the cause? The cause is actually the way that you think. For a person who has lost his consciousness, who is not conscious in his mind, for that person, that is a medical illness. He is nowhere near enlightenment because he has lost awareness. He has no idea about his mind. He has lost his awareness. He is doing so many different things. But when you are aware about your mind, you have to be aware in your mind to realize that you're living in the sea as a fish who's searching for water. First, you have to realize that you're suffering. In the path to attain enlightenment, attain nirvana, first you have to realize that you are a person, like she said, traveling a path tired. That is when you realize, that is when you have the wanting to search for something more. That is through your awareness, right? If you are not suffering from anything in life, there is no need of an enlightenment for anyone. If you're happy all the time, what is the reason of enlightenment? Why do we need enlightenment? We need enlightenment because we suffer in life. So firstly, to understand that, you should have awareness. Without awareness, you won't know whether you are a psychopath or not.
What is awareness?
Awareness is something like this. Let's say you are living life. You are living a normal life. Then what happens? Some person comes in and he's shouting at you. You're at your workplace. Some person is just coming in. Okay, he's saying bad things, bad words, and he's blaming you. Okay, why did you do this? Why did you do that? Then you're angry. Normal impression is that you're angry or you're upset. Something like that, right? The normal impression. So at that moment, what people do is they shout back or they do the normal things. They get angry, they shout back, or they leave the place, do so many things. But the cause of their anger will always be the person who blamed them. If you're aware, what is awareness is, you're aware about your mind. You know the reality of the cause of your suffering is the way that I was thinking. I am in an expectation that people should not blame me. When you understood the reason of your suffering, the understanding that you get from awareness, being aware. You're aware about your own mind.
Awareness. Awareness is awareness. That's maybe I just misunderstood the word.
Awareness, awareness.
Sorry.
Awareness is being aware about your mind. What happens when you're aware about your mind? Did you ask awareness, right? Your question? Your question was awareness, right?
Yeah, I misunderstood the way to pronounce word awareness.
Okay. I was talking about awareness.
Okay, gotcha.
So the awareness comes in like this. If you're aware, that means you're aware about your mind. You're aware about how your mind works. So, like I said, if you're angry about it, you will know from your awareness. If you are aware about your mind, you will know the true cause of your anger was not some person who's outside. It was the own way of your thinking. It is your own way of thinking.
Feeling of emotion is just a choice. Are all these choices that you're talking about?
Feeling of emotion is a choice. Give an example.
Where's emotion?
Feeling of emotions.
Do you choose not to have emotions?
No, it's not a choice that I took. It is my understanding. I have emotions.
Yes.
I'm not a person without emotions. I feel love. I feel sad. I feel the anger. I feel the anger. It is not continuous. It is at this moment. Feel it. That is all. It does not drive me. I drive the anger. So what happens when people get angry? That they lost their awareness. They will do many things. They will shout. They will laugh. They will throw things away. I don't want to do that. I'm aware about my anger. When it comes in, I'm aware. I will use the anger and the anger will not use me. So being a person who has understood their mind is not living without any emotions. Emotions are there.
So there are choices. You choose how you're going to deal with that emotion.
When the emotion comes in, it comes in. When it is there, I can choose whatever I want to do with it.
I guess what you're saying is you're controlling the situation. The situation does not control you.
I cannot control the situation. Let's say this building collapsed. I cannot control the situation. This building will collapse.
Well, yeah, it has collapsed. But the thing is, the situation I'm talking about is the emotion.
Yes. That's like this. Now, when this building collapsed, if it falls on you, if you're like,
you're angry.
We are angry about it. That will not happen to me.
There you go, because you're controlling.
I'm not controlling. What I have did, I have understood. Understanding and controlling are two different things.
What? You can understand.
Sorry?
You can understand.
But the reaction.
But the reaction is
In the control.
And control, like you have to control the reaction.
The thing that I have to do to the outside, I can like consciously do it. As in, like, let's say, if some person does a bad deed according to society. For an example, let's say someone kills someone. Okay, I'm in a place where I will not be angry about it within myself, but I can take action in that situation the way that it is asked by the society. When someone kills someone, by the society, you are to be punished. That is a bad deed, right? So I will take action and then move.
And grudge, right?
Sorry?
Grudge. Big grudge. You won't grudge. No.
No, I won't have a grudge. Why do you have a grudge? Why do you want to have a grudge? It's like this. Now, you are having a grudge because of your own expectations. Because of the way of your habits. You're thinking, okay, if someone does like this, you're programmed to have a grudge. It is the demon that you drew. You are having a grudge with the demon that you drew. You're not really in a grudge. You're not going to take revenge on a person who's outside. You will take revenge on your own imaginations. Your own attachment towards those imagination. That is why that is the thing that you are getting revenge on.
Well, I think if you don't take revenge, if you back off from revenge, the other person would continue to take advantage of you.
It's like, now let's say, by meaning, okay, if someone does some act, if your meaning by revenge is to like take them to the police and doing that, it is something that I can also do. There is something that I will also do, for sure. That person he has a unbalanced mind. I have to do something about it. So by revenge, if you're burning inside, that can be lost. That thing is your problem. You're burning from yourself not because someone committed some act. You're burning from yourself because you think people should not do these things. I will do the same action. I will take the same action that you will take without burning inside. That's the difference of understanding. I won't have a grudge with that person, but I will do the things that you will do. Buddhism always approaches your mind. Buddhism always talks about you to your own mind. If you're upset, if you're pressured, if you're suffering, if you're depressed, if you're stressed out about something, it is always because of an expectation that you had which did not come true. It does not mean that you cannot do anything in the world. You can do everything in the world. You can do jobs, you can do everything that there is. But somehow, if you're suffering, like I said before, it is always because of an expectation. You are attached to certain expectations. You have understood that these expectations that you have created from yourself, you have forgotten that fact, and you are attached to your own demon, that which you drew.
It seems to me, and I'm just sharing with you my opinion. It seems to me that it's easy for you to live unattached life.
How can you say I'm unattached?
Because you're Buddhist. You're Buddhist monk. You better be unattached.
It's like this. Being a Buddhist monk does not mean I am unattached. Like I said, your attachment comes in your mind. You are not really attached to anything, like you said. You cannot really see a person from outside and tell, okay, he is an unattached person. There are monks who has more attachments than some normal people. Because attachment comes in your mind. Living an isolated life does not mean those people don't have attachments. They have attachments. They have deeply craving attachments. Okay, I have to attain that, attain this. Even the path to nirvana, if you have really understood it, it is also goes with attachment. If you attach to this path, if you attach too much to nirvana, that will also be a very distressing moment. Some people, there are some monks who are really attached to nirvana, attaining nirvana. They want nirvana no matter what. They are doing so many things to get enlightened.
But that's not a bad thing.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. If you have not understood that your own attachment, your own expectation is the one that makes you suffer in life, it's the same thing. Let's say your attachment as a person who's doing your own things in social life, if you're attached to doing certain things, it's the same as a monk. The only difference is the goal has changed. Like I said, attaining something in the spiritual life does not work the same way as when you're going to a goal outside. It's different. It is always about understanding your mind. For me as well, when I was back home, before I came here, I also was a person like you. I also had dreams. I want to marry. I wanted to have. I wanted to do a job. I went on to have a degree as well. I didn't finish it. I was on my way to completing my higher education as well. So in that moment, that is when I realized, okay, after I listened to our chief monk's sermons, I understood something, that there is something more to life. That is why I came here, to understand what he was talking about. Being a monk does not mean that you have given up everything, that you are a person who's without attachment. It doesn't really matter what you attach to. Maybe you are attached to your son. Let's say you are attached to your son. To that same extent, I might be attached to this phone. Right? To the same extent, some monks might get attached to their own robes. To the same extent that the monk would be attached to the way he thinks. Attachment comes in different ways. You cannot be. There might be people who have less attachments in their world, in their life, rather than a monk. Because it is your mental world that you get attached to.
That's a very interesting answer because I didn't know that monks are unattached. in my mistaken was that these people actually practice so much that they able to.
I'm not saying everyone is not attached. I'm saying it could be. Now, from the outside, you can say they are unattached because they have let go of things. They are not attached to the kids. They are not attached to the world. But when they left this world, when they left that world, they will be in another world. In that world also, he has to live with the mind. He has to live with certain things. So the same attachment that he had towards his kid, the same thing will happen to your things that he has now around him. Makes sense, right?
Are there monks that attach to money and power?
Yes, there is. Also human, right? Yes, there is. But there are also monks who are really trying to understand their mind and try to attain the enlightenment. Has the both sides. I think we had enough, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I would like to thank you all again for coming to this place. It was really wonderful meeting you all. And I would like to take a few moments to explain about this place. This was formed like 10 years ago, 10 years ago by our chief monk, Thiththagalle. He is not here. He's in Australia. He will be back tomorrow. If he's here, he would be the one who is doing this. It would be more interesting than what I did. So he will be back tomorrow after a trip in Australia. So the recent past, we started some projects. So we have started a campus here like 1.5 years ago. The accommodation, the food, everything is for free. And we are teaching like almost 200 kids who are living here. We have given them free accommodation, free food, and free education as well. All that is for free. And we are trying to educate them in 2 different faculties. There's a IT faculty, there's another faculty called the music faculty. So there are 2 different faculties. So if I were to say the sole reason of why we started a campus is not to educate them on IT or music, because people can learn IT and music anywhere in the world. But the real reason why we started a campus in this place is to make them really understand what their minds are. Even though they have money, even though they have power in the world, if they are not really satisfied, if they have really not understand how their minds work, whatever they have, they will not be satisfied. So we want to educate them in their mind as well by doing that as well. In the process, we are teaching them IT with the professionals and all that. So that is what has been going on in this place for the certain past. He's Jackie, he's an Isaac volunteer. He's here to engage with the kids and make them learn IT. So we're getting help from her as well, music and stuff. So foreigners come in. This is like a very social place. Lots of things happening in the daytime, working, so many things. So to end this, I would like to wish you all the best in your future endeavors. And I wish all of you will attain this nirvana in your lifetime. Nirvana is not something that which is to be understood, which is to be enlightened about in your next life. Nirvana is something that you attain right now, in this lifetime, in this moment that you're living in. So I bless you all for your future endeavors, and I bless you all to have a balanced and wonderful lives. So up there where you came in, we have prepared some cinnamon tea for you guys. It is said that in the southern parts of Sri Lanka, which is where the greatest cinnamon in the world is. So in here as well, we have some cinnamon plantations. So this is like pure cinnamon without any added sugar or anything. And you can enjoy tea as well before you go. And there's another thing. There's a leaflet which is in there. When you drink the tea, you can take a photo of it. And there's a YouTube links. Like this discussion, there are lots more discussions which has been done, not by me, by our chief monk. Those are like really enlightening. So when you go back, if you have time, listen to one or two once a month, maybe twice a month. That will really open your eyes when you go into your fusion. So that's all, and thank you.